Most of us can't even grasp the variety of animal species that inhabit the Earth today. And some even get surprised as they find out there's an animal they've never heard of before. However, with over 8.7 million identified animal species, how can you expect to know every single one of them? To put that into perspective, take into account, scientists estimate there could be 100 million different species yet to be discovered. Hi, I'm Mr. Mysterious, and I'll be taking you on a journey filled with mysterious creatures that were caught on tape. We will begin with a giant, worm-like monster living in Iceland, and we'll also talk about alien-looking creatures with hundreds of small hands, creatures that were mentioned in ancient fables. And we'll even take a look at a creature that might have escaped from a biological warfare facility. So, let's begin. Icelandic worm monster. Stories about lake monsters can be found all over the world, from Izzy in Japan up to a giant worm monster in Iceland. In fact, a 2012 video surfaced reportedly showing this Icelandic monster. The serpentine creature is said to live in a freshwater, below sea level, glacial-fed lake, which has very poor visibility as a result. The legend of this giant worm is first mentioned in 1345, but there have been several notable sightings in the last 50 years or so. In 1963, the monster was seen by the head of the Icelandic National Forest Service. In 1983, contractors laying a telephone cable measured a large, shifting mass near the eastern shore when performing preliminary depth measurements. And when they later retrieved the non-functional cable, they found that it was broken where it had lain over the anomaly. This was a specially engineered cable that was made to be highly durable. However, something managed to tear the cable in 22 different places. In February 2012, the Icelandic national broadcaster, RUV, published a video showing the famous Icelandic worm monster swimming in snow-covered, icy water. Subsequently, this was explained as probably being a lifeless object moved by the rapid current, since it was making no progress through the water. However, expert panel members were divided about the video, but saw no reason to doubt the existence of the creature. They later said that the video is genuine. Lauren Coleman, director of the International Cryptozoology Museum in Portland, Maine, also took a look at this footage. At one point in his career, he tried to dig out as much information as he could about the famous Icelandic monster and wrote about it in his book, Field Guide to Lake Monsters and Sea Serpents. He says that the Icelandic worm is usually described as a pale, humped animal, about 15 meters long, and with sprouting whiskers on the head at the end of a 2-meter-long neck. But this is not what this footage shows us. Still, other experts believe that this video is the best proof that a large creature actually lives in one of the numerous Icelandic lakes. The basket star. In 2014, a fisherman from Singapore reeled in a mysterious creature straight out of a science fiction movie. When Ong Han Boon saw his line going up and down at his favorite fishing spot on the island of Sentosa, the 50-year-old had a feeling he was about to catch something very special for lunch. But when the sea dweller broke the surface, the fisherman was confused by the strange-looking animal. As the fisherman told a local radio station, he was fluxumed by what he was looking at. Even though he saw numerous odd things come out of the ocean, he never saw a creature like this one, twisting and curling its alien-like body. The creature looked like some sort of mutant starfish. The fisherman captured its bizarre and freakish movements in the remarkable video. which he posted online in hopes that someone could identify the animal or perhaps tell him that he had found a new species. As strange and alien-like as this creature looks, this is no longer really a mystery. It took some time until experts at Oregon State University finally discovered what this creature is. This incredibly complex-looking creature is a relative of the starfish. The basket star can usually be found in deep-sea habitats, which is one of the reasons why we don't see this kind of starfish that often. They have 5 arms radiating from a central disc. Furthermore, each of their arms is branching out to countless flexible endings, which can be used by the creature to create a tangled mesh designed to ensnare plankton. In the wild, they may live up to 35 years, and they can weigh up to 5 kilograms. Like other similar animals, this strange-looking creature lacks blood and achieves gas exchange via its water vascular system. They come in orange, red, and white. What still remains mysterious about this video is how a creature that has only been documented to exist in waters that are at least a mile deep found its way to the relatively shallow bay on the outskirts of Singapore. In conclusion, it should be noted that our oceans cover a whopping 71% of the Earth's surface, and that more than 95% of the underwater universe has yet to be explored, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. We can only wonder what kinds of alien-looking creatures we are yet to encounter. Ferry, caught on tape. The following video will show you that if you want to record cryptids and other mythological creatures, the best place to start might be in your own backyard. Well, maybe you won't find a Nessie or a Bigfoot, but you might find some smaller creatures that will make your video go viral. If you're lucky enough, you could end up finding a fairy, like people in the following video, which comes to us from England. Recorded by a father who was filming his kids as they walked around their friend's garden. The first minute of the video shows the kids walking around the yard. Eventually, they go over to a large tree. The boy sees something on the tree, and the father and the 2 girls try to take a closer look at the insect. Suddenly, the insect starts moving. As the camera clearly shows, this strange-looking creature is like a very small humanoid with large wings. The kids and the father appear to become frightened and run away as the fairy flies past the camera and disappears up into the air. As interesting as this video is, there are numerous unanswered questions surrounding it. Some people are pointing out that for someone who just witnessed a tiny humanoid creature, the father seemed pretty calm about it. Another thing that might be problematic is the fairy itself. Some believe that this is just CGI effects. However, we still don't know if this video is real or if it's a hoax. If you still don't believe in fairies, here's another story that might make you reconsider. 3 years ago, Manchester Metropolitan University lecturer claimed to have images of the mythological creature from the Rosendale Valley, Lancashire. The man, named John Hyatt, snapped images of what he claimed were the tiny winged creatures whilst out photographing the Lancashire landscape. His photos were put on display at a special exhibition called Rosendale Fairies. As John said, "There are stranger things in life than fairies, and life grows everywhere." Maybe it's not that hard to imagine that some small humanoid insects live out there. Pennsylvanian Bigfoot. Bigfoot is known for inhabiting remote parts of the globe, far out of the way places rarely trekked by humans. Washington State, the Himalayas, and northern Canada are all known as hot Bigfoot areas. You can't find this creature just anywhere. You have to look far off the beaten path to catch up with this hairy hominid. However, as one YouTube video shows, Bigfoot can apparently be found in Pennsylvania, making us wonder what this creature is doing there. After all, Pennsylvania is one of the original colonies, long ago settled and cleared of most large and dangerous animals. What is Bigfoot's secret for staying hidden for so long in the eastern states? And how often is he really seen in Pennsylvania? One of the most interesting cases comes from a town called Carbondale, near the city of Scranton. In 2010, a white Bigfoot was reported wandering about by residents of the town. Carbondale is surrounded by woodlands, but the town itself is fairly urban. In 2008, the residents of this small town have reported bizarre sightings of a white Bigfoot. They said that a strange-looking animal could be seen near a mine reclamation site. By 2010, homeowners began to hear strange noises and disturbances in the woods. In one case, an unidentified man witnessed movement in his backyard and was able to capture some bizarre video footage. For 1 full second, the man filmed a large white creature that resembled the shape of a Bigfoot. In this video, as the man's camera hits the creature's face, it quickly moves away. Over the internet, the video is said to display some bizarre factors. For starters, the animal's body proportions are extremely large, which is not easily faked. The creature holds a defined brow ridge, coned head, and hooded nose. The shoulders are extremely broad, and the arms are rather long. The creature has white fur on its head and small ears. Most importantly, the video shows the creature's face contorting as it runs away, which suggests that it may not be a mask. The real question is, if Bigfoot is in Pennsylvania, he has to have been there the whole time. How is it that nobody knows about this? Could Bigfoot be some kind of a cave-dwelling creature that lives deep in the earth and rarely comes out? Just like the rest of the strange videos we've played so far that supposedly show mysterious creatures, we are left with numerous questions. The Montauk Monster. In July of 2008, an odd-looking creature washed ashore on a beach near the business district of Montauk, New York. Jenna Hewitt and her 3 friends said they found the creature on July 12th at the Ditch Plains Beach, 2 miles east of the district. The group was looking for a place to sit when they saw some people looking at something. They joked that maybe it was something from Plum Island. Plum Island Animal Disease Center is a federal research facility dedicated to the study of animal diseases. During the Cold War, a secret biological weapons program targeting livestock was conducted at the site, although it slowly declined through the end of the century. However, even today, PIADC scientists study more than 40 foreign animal diseases, including hog cholera and African swine fever. The facility's freezers contain samples of polio and other contagious diseases. Lab 257, a book by Michael C. Carroll, has alleged a connection between Plum Island Animal Disease Center and the outbreaks of 3 infectious diseases: West Nile virus in 1999, Lyme disease in 1975, and Dutch duck plague in 1967. It's not hard to imagine that a strange-looking creature that washed ashore on a nearby beach in 2008 had something to do with this facility. Initial media reports included speculation that the Montauk Monster might have been a turtle without its shell, although turtle shells are fused with the spine. Then there were different theories. Reports started to mention raccoons, sea turtles, rodents, and dogs. The best guess was that the Montauk Monster was a raccoon without its upper jaw. There were also rumors that the carcass had been taken away from the site. The local residents said that a man took the carcass and put it in the woods in his backyard, but they would not say who or where. Then, in 2012, a similar creature washed up on a California beach. With its long claws and pointed teeth, the mystery creature was quite a fearsome sight. No one has been able to identify the remains, though some non-experts have given it a go. People said that the creature looked like a combination of a seal and dog with fangs dried up, or that it looked like the remnants of a dinosaur, like a dog, but ancient. Even today, we don't know what actually happened to these creatures, nor where they came from. What do you think about these strange and mysterious creatures? What would you do upon encountering something frightening, like a large animal you haven't seen before? If you find it mysterious, share and like this video. Also, be sure to subscribe because you don't want to miss what's coming next. As always, thank you for watching.